we're just about. Let's go ahead and kick this thing on. Let's see what we're doing. Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to Play It Painted Live. Hope you guys are having a good Sunday evening. Here we go with one of these. So we're building some Corvus Belli. I don't know what these are, Defiance models, something like that. And we got a bunch of them to build. And we're going to go ahead and get started. I actually have 4 of 9 almost done. I'm not attaching them to bases yet, but yeah. So we're going to bitch about some Corvus Belli models. All right. And I'm going to be checking out chat. We're just going to go ahead and talk about whatever we feel like talking. Oh, that's a big guy. Let's shh. And I got a toddler in the room here with me. Darius, go to your room. All right. He's not going to go. Maybe he'll fall asleep. We'll see. You may hear a child screaming in the background. That's my son. All right. Big base here. He's a big boy. Look at this. Yeah. These guys look like Halo dudes. So I guess this is all O12 stuff. I don't know. So you gotta clip off their bases. All right. Like that. And I gotta file this down. Right. So we got a needle file for this sort of activity. Right, and then we're gonna figure out how flat he needs to stand, so we could put the pin in. Right. So we're just gonna pin the bottom there. I'm gonna have Alexa play my favorite song so that I have something I can listen to, but not get kicked off of YouTube. Hopefully it won't pick up on it. So Alexa, play my favorite songs. Okay. Okay, so hopefully you can't hear the music going on in the background. Hopefully it's more me. No, you can kind of pick it up, huh? Alexa, turn the volume down. Okay, I don't know. Tell me if you can hear the music. Let me know in the chat so I can remove it and this video won't get like copyright attacked by the copyright attackers. Okay. So when you start filing this down, you're trying to figure out which foot is going to make the most contact with the base, because that's the foot you're going to pin, and it looks like it's going to be this front foot. Hey, what's up, Jose? So we're going to throw the pin in the front foot here. Right? So we're building all your Halo boys. Halo boys! Good. Thank you, sir.
It's okay.
But you might hear a toddler. Darius, go to bed. Good night, Darius. Good night, Darius. All right. No music heard, and hopefully no Darius heard. All right. That's good. Let's go ahead and cut ourselves a pin. So yeah, we got a couple of games in today, Jose. Got a Batman game. What? Where'd that pin go? No. Oh, there it is. That looks. No, that's fine. I had to see the color scheme for the mini. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I'll have a look at that. We got a little while because building and priming is going to take a hot minute here. So, are these all one force? Well, I don't. I'm sure it's a hodgepodge of stuff, but at least the Halo stuff, probably all O12 stuff. I did not play Cobra today. Me and Chris played, so with Chris being really the other BMG veteran that's also playing in the tournament, we put to play our tournament lists, and I got destroyed. I've lost to Chris's freeze crew. Has such a great answer. They're like I almost feel like they're a hard counter for Riddler. So I'm scrambling to find an answer for for that crew because um, yeah, Freeze just has really good answers for Riddler's suspect manipulation. It's even making me rethink, like should I be taking Catman, because for 115 points he's not doing um, what I need 115 points to do on that list, frankly. Right? I mean, he can do a good job like tanking up people, and he can take down some targets, but it usually costs me a lot to kind of keep him going. Against a lot of other crews, he's probably a great choice because he's hard to kill. So the opponent has to invest a significant amount of resources trying to put him down. But um, I went up against Chris's 9 model crew, and that was tough. Good night, Darius. I mean, if he falls asleep back there, that's fine. But okay, so big boy. At least he didn't have a double-handed rifle hold. That's all. All right. Oh, it's like not the best fit there, it looks like. Catman sadly wasn't doing too many. Yeah, he he hasn't, like, I can see where he's super useful in certain matchups. Like against Court of Owls, he's actually quite good because he can stand up to Talons pretty well. But there's just going to be other matchups where he's kind of challenged. And 6 model Riddler crew is kind of difficult, right? Because Echo and Query have to shoulder a lot of the work. So I'm really kind of rethinking my list a little bit. And there's really only 2. Oh man, that piece just is not going to stay, is it? Ah, Corvus Belli. Um, yeah, it just doesn't like the chest piece. Not sure why. I mean, maybe the notches dug too deep? Who knows? Anyway, yeah, so if I do replace Catman, there's really 2 candidates I have in mind. One being Mad Hatter, right? So Dr. Tetch is pretty cool. It actually gives me a 7th model in the crew, which I feel is like the sweet spot. So I may go with Dr. Tetch. Plus, he's a Secret 6 member, so he counts. The other option is to go with Bronze Tiger, which gives me a pretty reliable beat stick, but not nearly as durable as Catman, right? So I have some decisions to make there. But yeah, so I'm leaning towards Hatter, but that's going to leave me pretty exposed on the melee side. Like I really won't have a good melee answer for people, but I'll have some crazy manipulation tricks, which is nice, right? It means Echo is going to have to be kind of, she's going to have to shoulder a lot of the melee responsibility. Okay. But yeah, that's where I'm leaning. I do want to have a primetime free agent in there because Riddler mobs, henchmen just aren't. They're not that great. But in combination with a decent free agent, they can be pretty strong. Okay, what's this? This guy's kind of a mess. Okay, just standing on different things. You already have a lot of manipulation. I Yes and no. Here's the thinking there is with Riddler, it's not very difficult for me to get all my markers out and to do that level of manipulation. But against an opponent that is going to outnumber me, that's a lot of AP I have to make up. And it does mean occasionally I will actually have to fight something and take something off the board just to reduce the activation advantage. So there's that. But Tetch gives me some crazy like wildcard options. One, he gives me another +1 for my initiative roll, which is fantastic. So I'd be at +2 to go first on any turn. Two, he already has a built-in free manipulate action, which is nice. He has the mechanic rule, which is super nice. He's got a good gun. It's short range, but 3 blood on his gun is amazing, and push. So that's good. He has charm, which is good. It gives him a little bit of defensive tech against melee. He also has dodge, which is good, and he has small, so he'd be, so he's harder to hit when you're shooting at him. How does this even go? So he gets. So as you can tell, that's a lot of free stuff. In other words, potentially, if I don't give him an audacity marker, he is still quite useful because he gets a free manipulate action, and he has the hypnosis. He's got the mind control machine. So if anybody's like threatening him, getting close to him, he could apply the hypnotize effect and either run them away, or ideally run them away and make them punch their own guys, right? So that's kind of why I'm really liking the idea of having Tetch in there, because he kind of helps my crew in a number of ways. Hey, what's up, Jason? We're talking about, and it's going to sound like blasphemy, but I am looking at potentially dropping Catman out of my Riddler crew, but going to replace him with Dr. Tetch, right? One of the only guys I think that can replace Catman is Dr. Tetch, right? People who know me know those are two of my favorite characters in the entire game to play. So I think Tetch gives me crazy control. Not only that, I forgot to mention, if I swap to Tetch, the model I'm adding to my crew is Kel, okay, which is Riddler's sidekick, which gives me even more control. A second gun, so I'm adding 2 guns to the crew. Kel has undercover. She has the same kind of ability Riddler does, where if she does a manipulate action in front of an enemy model that can see her and the suspect, she can look at the top two cards of your deck and discard one and place the other one back on it. So a lot of cool, essentially just a lot of. Kel gives me even more manipulation. A really nice accurate gun, and just another kind of control piece in that crew. Yeah, right. So looking to swap potentially Hatter into this crew for that. for Catman. It's basically Catman for Hatter and Kel, which is really strong, right? If I really the only suitable replacement for Catman for me is gonna be Hatter. Yeah. And it gives me I end up with some really crazy like free AP stuff, which is important in a Riddler crew. And the thing that I really struggled with today against Chris was he got me to a point where he got me to a point where I couldn't cycle my deck hard enough to keep up with him in scoring, right? Like he had managed to cycle so fast and I couldn't stop him that he just kind of ran away with that game, right? Because he played it super well, right? He plays that freeze crew. He plays very well. He's worried about getting hit really hard and just removed from the table. But against me, he doesn't. You don't have that worry. I just don't do that. And he kind of understands when to play because you have to play Riddler's game at some point, but he knows when to jump in and play it and when to not play it. And he caught me on this really neat cycle where I literally could not keep cards moving through my deck. That's a weakness for Riddler. If I cannot continue to cycle cards, Riddler has a hard time. It's probably when I first started playing Riddler, it's probably the hardest lesson to learn. Yeah, that's even more octave. Yeah, right. So I figure people who know me know how much I love Catman, but then they also know how much I love Tetch. And so Tetch and Riddler on same team, that's gonna be amazing, right? Um, but I think it should be pretty cool. All right, so just grabbing bags at random and discovering what we got. Yeah, like I've got some pretty good, and Kel comes with a pretty nice objective card. Ah, more wings. No, these damn Halo boys. Halo boys. I like how all the Halo boys are like they've like attached themselves to these arms. Halo boys on arms. All right, let's make ourselves a little pin here. When you made Batman slap Robin was the pinnacle. He'd KO'd Robin. He slapped Robin so hard that Robin went KO from that. Was the funniest damn thing. Probably one of the funniest things to ever happen in Batman. Probably the other super funny thing that happened in Batman was when who's that? Catwoman was like walking. She was like walking vertically on a wall, and Firefly went up there and just like flamethrowered her off the wall and killed her. That was that was first edition shenanigans. But yeah, those are probably the two most hilarious things. And then with Catman, there was just a lot of games where Catman would just find like the most expensive guys on the other guy's team and just tie them up the whole game. Right? He couldn't kill anybody, they couldn't kill anybody, and then the last turn he would just leave and jump in the sewer to escape. Oh my gosh. Classic cat, man. But yeah, touch. So the way the mind control machine works now is disgustingly good. Okay, so I think you need a suspect marker within 4 inches of your target, right? Can be your marker, can be the other guy's marker. Even nicer if it's the other guy's marker, right? So, right, if somebody has previously activated and they dropped a suspect marker, cool, okay? Because what Touch can do is he can remove that suspect marker, and then the model then he just gets to automatically apply the hypnotize effect, which is stupidly strong, right? He just gets to do 2 actions with the model that's within 8 of him, basically. Um, so super nice. All right, time to put wings on Halo boys. Halo boys. But yeah, um, so I went ahead. I didn't have that Tetch because I was waiting for the latest Tetch model because I was waiting for Comic Quest to get him in, and they had him for a hot minute, and then somebody went and bought him. Funny it was my one only game with a Luther crew in your Doom Patrol, and I managed to have Luther KO the Chief by slap. I like Doom Patrol. I really hope Doom Patrol and Watchmen get proper decks because I have fun playing those crews. Right? If Big Bang Theory can get a proper deck, can we please get a deck for Doom Patrol and Watchmen? I mean, they're still playable, but when you're playing the generic deck against people, you really have to work your balls off to win games because it's just you're at an inherent disadvantage. I don't know. I'll probably bring Doom Patrol with me to LVO. All right. Good night, Darius. Good night, Dare Bear. All right, so let me continue on with these guys. Generic deck is a big yeah. It's pretty. Hey, what's up, Nelson? It's pretty hard to win with the generic deck. It's just difficult. All right. Let me see if I can get this little guy out of here. All right, little guy. I can't have you in here right now, son. You have to go to bed. Okay? I'm gonna excuse myself here in a second once I glue this pin in. All right. You might be able to hear his yeah, you might be able to hear his video game. Let me know if you can hear his video game. It's pretty loud. So, oh, damn it. All right. Oh no, that's my kid's video game. Hold on. Good night, Darius. Go to your room, Dare Bear. See if I can do it before. No, I'll just pop that back in. All right, pop the pin in. All right, excuse me 1 second, guys. Okay. I mean, I'm not against him playing his game. It's loud. All right. So sometimes it's hard to tell what's flash and what isn't. I don't think that's flash. It's just a really weird shape on the back of the model, right? It's like where he hangs the jet, what he uses to hang up the jetpack at night, maybe. Maybe. So let's see. Look at that. Okay. These little wings are still nowhere near as annoying as Pano antenna. For those of you who ever built Infinity models, especially the old Infinity models. Holy crap. At least these are notched pretty well. Usually the joins are pretty tight, which is saying a lot for a metal sculpt, for metal casts. Sometimes the joints are like really kind of sloppy. Ay, ay, ay. Felt like it was gonna lock in, but it didn't lock in. What? Hold on. Why is that not? It did not lock in. I was just praising you, Corvus Belli. Why are you doing this to me, Corvus Belli? All right. Oh my gosh. My fingers super glued together there. Okay. Just please lock. Okay. And we do the other side. Yeah, Pano antenna sucked so bad. I used to try to pin those, but that was actually a reality check that no, you cannot pin everything. I used to believe that, you know, any model kit, including Rackham, was fair game because pinning was a thing. And if you pinned religiously, then you should be fine. And then Corvus Belli said, not really. Not really my guy. And they showed me the ways of bad times, basically. All right, so that's, whoops. I will say this about these new sculpts is I like that Corvus Belli understands that you don't need every guy pointing his rifle forward. You know, a lot of these, the rifles are up, straight up in the air, or they're straight down right there in like low ready or high ready. All right, so there we go. We'll push this guy off to the side. They're making decent progress here. Famous last words. Oof, hang out there. Let's open the next bag and see what else we got, folks. Oh, I see a cape on this one. Ooh, this one have a sword. Thanks, Out 05. Look, Out 06 is in there too. All right. But yeah, looking to possibly revamp my my Riddler crew because I just don't have good answers against Chris. And don't get me wrong, a lot of it is due to the fact that Chris is a really good BMG player who pays attention to what's going on, cycles his deck really, really well, and plays his activations pretty nicely. Like, against me, he's scoring almost his entire deck, right? He scored 40 points today, which is just insane. Um, I've never seen a score go that high. But yeah, he managed to get 40 points off me. And then by the time like the last couple of activations happened, you know, there wasn't much. There was nothing left for him to do. He had scored everything. And for me, it was, I may have been able to. The final score was like 40. I want to say it was 43 to 31 or something like that. Um, and maybe I could have brought my score up to like 36, but still super hard. And I'd be curious to see like the caliber of players that we run into at LVO. I think you guys should go to LVO, and I just mean that. Like if you're in the chat, I think you should go to LVO. Come hang out with me, even if you just go for a day. Just go for a day, hang out with me, right? We could go hit the craps tables after the tournament or whatever. You could, right? You could play something. You should play Batman. I think. I think if you want to go to LVO, you should go to LVO. This is maybe the only chance we get to play a Batman tournament, which is like my main reason for wanting to go. Is like, oh, I've never played. I've played in plenty of Malifaux tournaments. I played in enough MCP tournaments, so none of those are very interesting to me. I even played in an Aristea tournament, which is the Sunday event that I was interested in. But seriously, never, ever, ever played in a Batman tournament. So why not come play in this tournament? Where did my pin go? It ran away. Clip another one. Yeah, I should go through my Riddler deck and actually try to calculate out how much could you score if you scored the entire deck. It probably is like 40 or 50 points. What's interesting about BMG is when you take free agents or you take certain characters that give you access to more objective cards. Oh, this guy's on 2 pieces of dirt. He's on 2 tactical rocks. What a jackass. All right. Yeah, when you like take certain characters that have their own objective cards, it adds to your overall total possible score. So I'm sure there may be somebody who's kind of gone through and mathematically figured out what is the absolute highest scoring crew you could field in BMG, right? And it's one advantage, say teams can have, because a lot of free agent or character, we'll say named characters, non-henchman characters in teams often come with objective cards. Sadly, Dr. Tetch does not come with an objective card, which is kind of bull. I mean, why wouldn't such a cool character not come with his own objective card? That just seems ridiculous. Alright. This looks like a dude with a close combat weapon. And look at how it's just a head attached to an arm. Good job, Corvus Belli. So let's go ahead and, I mean, it's actually not, that's not a terrible thing, given that it's going to be very easy to attach that, because you know you're going to get it right once you line up the head. And it's going to fit pretty well. As long as I get that little piece of flash off. Okay. Okay. All right, so that goes like that. Yeah, I have a ponytail. You'll see. And then he's like Musashi's brother or something. Oh, 12 all the way, baby. Double rock. All the rest of you think you're cool with one tactical rock. Come face my 2 tactical rocks. All right. Why would a spammer come into this chat anyway? There's like 3 people here. Right? What does that accomplish? Spamming 3 people. We could literally just go hop into Discord and continue the same stream there, right, on the private Discord. Okay, there we go. Man, I might actually have to pin that piece. It's such a big, flat piece. I may actually have to pin that. Hold on. Because I don't know if that's going to stay. There we go. Oh, no. All right. Okay. So there's that. Just don't disturb him. Weird fit for that one. Oh, I banned the spammer. Yeah, don't worry. You guys didn't have to deal with it. Okay, so there's that. Okay, now who's next in the bag of tricks? Looks like a female miniature this time. Bloop. And this is out 01. I don't know. I don't think that means anything to anybody, but you know the other thing I want to point out about BMG that's kind of interesting, and I wonder if somebody like, say, Nelson would actually make the game more interesting to him, is that I think you can, and I've seen it done, but you can play this BMG solo. You could put 2 crews on the board and play 2 hands. I've seen it done. In fact, some of the battle reports you see on YouTube, like I'm 90% positive that those guys are they're just filming a solo battle, but they're filming and describing every activation, right? Because they want to see, okay, well, how does this deck work? How do these characters work? And they're probably trying their best to play and make the best decisions possible with each crew and trying to see, you know, it's not a way to show you how to win with the crew. It's just to show you how the crews play. And that's kind of interesting to me. Right? So for example, I'm trying to learn Cobra and Riddler. I think I have enough of a handle on Riddler to be able to do that, to be able to play a solo game using Cobra and Riddler, right? And you could, and maybe you're not making the best decisions, but you're still learning, right? You're still getting, we'll say, battlefield experience with your BMG crew doing that. Does that make sense? Because I mean, you could cycle if you knew the game, if you knew the core mechanics well enough, it wouldn't be hard to do that, right? And you're basically just rolling dice against yourself. So you just have one set of, dice for one crew and one set of dice for the other crew, and you make the best decisions you can, trying to keep all your models alive and play well. I think you could do it. I may have to try it. Because especially with Riddler, I think he's probably one of the best crews to do that with. Because compared to most crews, he cares the least what the other crew does. He's gonna get his mini game out, and you're gonna play it or not, but you are gonna play it. That's how Riddler works. But yeah, because I've been watching. There's one of my favorite channels, Flick's Tabletop Gaming, right? And he does a lot of BMG. He also does some like MCP and that sort of thing. And I'm pretty sure his games are played solo. I mean, you could play MCP solo, but I feel MCP loses out to that a little bit, mainly because it's so much easier to predict the other guy's activation. Okay, so for example, right, let's say you have two models that are, they're, let's say, outside of range 4 of each other, playing MCP. You're controlling both crews. Okay, well, the model that isn't activating wants the activating model to end within a certain range, within a certain bubble, so it can do things to it. And as a player controlling both models, you know that, and you know the other, and you know all of the other actions that the active model can take. So it's a little, what's the word I'm looking for? It's a little more predictable. And you can't, and it's going to play harder into your bias for one team versus the other if you were to play MCP by yourself. When you're playing Batman by yourself, you're literally looking at your objectives in hand, and you don't necessarily know what activation, what they're going to do, what you're going to do in that particular activation. The only place where that like real bias comes in is the order of activation. But I do think it's possible to play the game that way and like play it in such a way that you're actually learning about the game, right? Because even if you're making bad decisions during a solo game of Batman, you could still be learning a lot about cycling your deck, which is again one of the most important skills to have in BMG, is how to properly manage your deck and your resources. That's true, Riddler crew, especially, yeah. Yeah, you can even, like, let's say you were solo playing and you activate the Riddler's thing. You essentially just roll a d6 and go, okay, opponent guesses this number. That's you could really do that, and it wouldn't be like super biased. Okay, all right. Now, so that's all the metal boys done. Let's start sticking them on the bases. All right, so here's the guy that came in the, oh, I don't know. That's gonna be super tight fit. I don't know, man. Let's try it. I don't know. I don't know if that's gonna work. I don't think that's gonna work. This base has a stupid like raised spot in the middle of it, which makes it hard to stick models to it. Let's see. Yeah, he's. Well, can I get? Oh, I can make that work. I can make that work. Okay. Yeah. That'll work. It's actually what's cool about this is it's actually gonna make him more stable, even though he's just a two-piece model. He doesn't need that much stability, but there you go. He ain't going nowhere. Okay, let's do this model next. Uh, Double-handed rifle hold, double tiptoe. Go home, Corvus Belli, you're drunk. Okay, that's shit you used to do in V1. Nobody likes that anymore. Cut it out. All right, so she's gonna go right there. Seriously, Corvus, don't get smart with me. Just make with the beautiful models, Spaniards and Mankinis. All right. Okay. So double tiptoe, two-handed rifle hold. We're just gonna call you, right? And she even looks like a version 1 sculpt. She does not look as modern as the other sculpts here. Double tiptoe. Look at that. What's the matter with you? Stepped away. Did you ever get the new Hatter? No, I just ordered him tonight. I never got him because I was waiting for CQ to get him. They got him, and then I went through like a week or so where I didn't have the funds to just buy him, and then he just walked out of that store. And I blamed Jose. I was like, I bet only Jose would do that to me. So I blamed Jose for that. Jose's looking at that model right now. Damn right you don't have him. Screw you, Catman. Just stay on the base. How hard is it, double tiptoe lady? Oh, you. Ah. Double tiptoe lady making life hard. Seriously. Double tiptoes, Corvus Belli, come on. Come on. I knew you used to pull that trash like 5, 10 years ago, but now it's still not sticking on there because of the double tiptoe. Phew. Corvus Belli, making me mad. Hold on. See, the whole thing just came off. It doesn't even make this particular model look any more dynamic. In fact, she looks less dynamic than the other models in this set, right? Who sculpted this one? Oh, Gerardo. Gerardo sculpted this one. Gerardo, we haven't seen him since 2011. Double-handed rifle hold. Damn you, Gerardo. Double tiptoe. All right. See if Gerardo's model will stand. I'll even lean her up against. I'll lean her up against a pot of paint so that she doesn't. All right. Next up, this model here, which looks like Gatchaman, right? Doesn't she? Looks like Gatchaman to me. She's the princess from Gatchaman. Okay. And it's going to be another one of these type things. And if you notice, her feet actually aren't even level. So thanks again, Corvus Belli. But let's... Damn, I complain a lot, don't I? No, this one's it's not too bad. You know, my ancestors are from Spain also, so I can talk trash. YouTube, don't get mad at me. Right? I got my share of Spanish blood. All right. Anyway. Oh my god. Yeah. This one's not even close, though. The back foot is so much lower than the front foot. Ah! All right. So we got to just hold it. We got to just hold these in place. This is usually the easy part of, you know, building metal models, is sticking it to a resin base. Right? Your pin vise goes through it like butter. You should not have any issues. But you know the guys in the mankinis are like, oh, what else can we do? Wow, making a model too easy. All right, next is this guy doing the heroic tripod stance, which I appreciate because at least this dude should go on pretty easy. So we'll put that right there. So O12 is like, their color scheme is a lot of blue, black, and I believe they have some white, but it's mostly blue and black, which is kind of cool. I have access to some pretty cool blues, and thanks to AK Gen 3, my blacks, the selection of blacks I have is off the charts good right now. So I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that O12 color scheme. Actually, I should look at, maybe Jose is like, no, they're all gonna be bright green, or no, they're all gonna be bright yellow and deep blue, which actually is a pretty cool color scheme. Wow, that guy he's not all that happy to be on that base. But you know what? He'll dry. He'll dry because he's standing. All right, let's do next up. My man Ponytail. We'll call him Musashi's brother. Musashi. Oh, I like to play Musashi. Quiet, Carlos. Oh, I'm going to show you more on instead. This time I'm playing Musashi. No shit, you're playing Musashi. And it's like painful to the ears to hear someone say Musashi. It's awful, right? Because your brain is going Musashi. Who are you? You're the one who. My name is Musashi. But no, Carlos Musashi. Best model in game, Musashi. He will always be in my team Aristea team, Musashi. Hey, calm down with that Musashi, dude. The ponytail Saladin. What's Saladin doing on O12? He's not Hakislam? Why would they do that? Seems kind of mean. Oh man. Tactical rocks are really bugging me today. Come on. I see. Yeah, tactical rocks they're just not. You really. Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to do some filling to get those to stay because there's like, you know what I mean. This base has ever so slightly different levels, and so, right. So there's a sunken level. If you want. Okay, it's fine. He's like. I'll just have to fill it, I guess. We'll let him dry like that, and I'll just have to fill it. Hey, what's up, Sean? All right. And then we got this guy here. This guy's like the discount Tawu. I don't have roller skate, but I'm kind of like Tawu. I also look like... All right. Yeah, it should be right there. That way the little peg can sit flush. He's been on loan to Hawk. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Did not know that. All right. Come on, discount Tawu. He's like got a mechanical arm up his butt. Oh, that's just flat out annoying because the base isn't. The problem I'm having is these resin bases are not flush. They're not flat. So he's gonna have to dry like that. He's gonna have to dry like that. And yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and I'm gonna have to go back and fill in those gaps from where they're standing. All right, next up, big mans. Big mans, right? I mean, I like textured bases. Don't get me wrong. It's just it can be a pain to get them to stay on there because they just don't like here. You got to find like where you're gonna get the most contact. It looks like right there. Okay, so let's do that again. Should be right there. Okay. Right, you got to figure out where to put the hole. Giggity. And there we go. All right. But yeah, I don't know. So it sounds like from this chat, it sounds like overall you guys are supporting the idea that if I'm going to replace Catman in my list, that replacing him with Tetch still well within Octave character, right? We're not breaking the Octave ways by moving from Catman to Tetch. Don't get me wrong. I think for casual games and there's certain matchups where I want to be able to swap in and swap Tetch in and out for Catman. Well, um, that's part of the I wish there was a sideboard for this event, right? That you have to declare what affiliation you're running, but you can sideboard models. I wish they had that. I think a lot of people wish you could do that, but I understand for simplicity and to make, because he's trying to fit 4 rounds in a day. So he doesn't want people mucking around trying to figure out what their, what their list should be. So I feel that, but still. If I could be like, oh, what affiliation you're running, and then based on that knowledge, go, okay, this is a job for Tetch or this is a job for Catman, right? Wow, this guy, he's literally not going to stay on there, is he? This is supposed to be the easy part of the process. All right, what I'm going to do, let's use some structure there so yeah, I've got stick a bottle of flesh wash there, long enough for him to dry, kind of leaning on that. There we go. All right, no one breathe, and we're good. Right, because sideboard would be sweet. You can just, okay, swap in and out. I guess I'll just give him that feedback, once I lose to freeze. It's hard, man. I'm looking at Chris's generic freeze guys, the generic minion guys, and he was complaining about the cost. He's like, oh, the guys with the swords cost 30. And I'm like, dude, the guys with the swords have better stats than my 45-point henchman. What are you mad about? They come with armor. They get free efforts near frozen markers. They have their blades do a lot of damage. They're 6 willpower, 6 defense. 6 willpower, 6 endurance. That's crazy good stats for a 30 cost model. Oh boy, this boy here, he's standing on a big pile. It's going to be another one of those. Nobody wants to stay on their bases because the bases will not. There's no flush contact, right? They're just not flat in any good part. Oh my gosh, especially on this one. Power creep for you to buy new stuff. It's not really power creep, but it kind of is a little bit. It's not the worst though, right? Because those models don't have acrobat. Those models they're stat 3s on their attack and defense. So, if I did run Catman through them with the express purpose of combat, Catman could be ripping through them pretty hard. Bronze Tiger would be ripping through them even easier. But Bronze Tiger is going to get killed the minute you can lay guns on, get guns on line of sight to him. Okay, I want to point something out with the base. Okay, it's really cool that you have all this texture, but look, you see this X? This X this is the highest point of the model, and then this grate here is the lowest point of the model. And that's a huge difference from the top of that to the bottom of that. So it's no wonder why you can struggle to get these models to sit to contact properly. Like maybe have some larger areas that are the same level. Even you could still make them textured, but that's just kind of a ridiculous gap there. I know, first world problems. I know. We're in the home stretch. We've got all of these things. But yeah, that said though, I think Freeze will have a harder time scoring than I would in the face of somebody that's really just gonna run directly in my face and start punching. Right? If someone runs directly into Freeze and they have like a Deathstroke or a Bane or somebody that can do that, Chris will struggle against that type. Right? I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm also going to struggle against that, but I think my playstyle is a little bit more resilient to it. All right, I'm just going to hold this for a minute because we're just going to chill here. I won't be able to prime any of these models. I really want them to dry overnight because, as you can see, some of the connections were pretty wobbly. So I don't want to mess around with these too much tonight. And the other problem too is you can see the pin, even though those were pretty short pins, see how shallow that base is? It goes all the way through and it sticks out the bottom, which is not great. So you do have Catman in your, oh, you have Bronze Tiger. Yeah, Bronze Tiger is actually, from an offensive standpoint, way more efficient than Catman. And he's 35 points cheaper than Catman. The problem with Bronze Tiger is, like I said, you catch him out flat-footed and you shoot him, he's just dead. There's no coming back for that dude. He has no dodge. He's defense 5, but you can modify, if you have somebody with accurate and bluff on him, which is not that hard to do. You could even do it in the same activation. In fact, Kel can do it. He die. He gon' die if you do that, right? So that's the only problem with Bronze Tiger. But otherwise, Bronze Tiger can. I mean, I have Bronze Tiger in my movie Bane crew, and he shreds through stuff. So I did put together a list with Bronze Tiger. It does also allow me to upgrade to Kel, but it's still only 6 models. Going Tetch gives me 7 models, and I think Tetch, as good as a pure killer as Bronze Tiger is, Tetch just gives me more of the playstyle I like. So, anyway, I mean, we can look, we can talk a little bit about my list. We might as well, because we're here. We got time. Just let these dry for a minute. We can look at my list. You guys can critique it. I'm gonna go through my phone. Okay, let's open that. Okay, and let's go to my screen. Okay. Oh, I guess I just Okay. That's cool. Okay, and then I'm gonna open BMG. Okay, so now let's go ahead and let's add my screen here. Should be there. No, that's the wrong one. Move that. Try it again. Screen capture, window. It's not my phone. Where is it? There we go. Okay, cool. So we got that. Right? Can I make this bigger? Yeah, I can. Cool. Make that bigger. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at my crews. You guys can tell me. All right, so go to Riddler main. Okay, so here's my here's the crew with Tetch in it. And first off, I mean, he looks naturally. Look, he matches the crew. He looks naturally like somebody that should be part of the crew. 70 rep, 200 funding, not bad. The team itself, 347 out of 350, right? Riddler, we know what he does. He has the level up upgrade that gives him. So I get two. I'm gonna get 2 suspect markers before the game even starts, and then as soon as he manipulates, that's 2 more. Right. So I almost have. So in 3 activations, potentially I have the entire set of suspect markers out that I need. Okay, that's amazing, right? So 3 activations in the game. There are cards in. Let me show you here. If I have, for example, if I have Riddle Nowhere cards out, I can play this during turn 1. I can play any number of these during turn 1 and just start scoring them because I'll have one of every different numeric number in. And that's just amazing. Okay, so anyways, so we kind of know what Riddler does. Oh, it's cool. It switches. That's so cool. It switches the point of view so you can see things, right? And I realize I don't always need to put Audacity on Riddler because he's actually fairly efficient without it even, right? So we know Riddler. Here's what we add, right, with Kel. And you guys didn't get to see much of Kel, but here we go, right? 45 rep, 200 funding. See how her stats are worse than the 30 rep guys on Chris's team? Yeah, and same defense stats, same strength, same move. This is all the same, but just one lower endurance there. This precision gun is pretty fire though, right? Double blood, rate of fire 2, handy on a firearm. That's pretty amazing. Handy and accurate. Okay? Once again, handy, reroll rolls, and +1 to hit. That's baller, right? So right there, so if she's shooting at Bronze Tiger, she takes his defense 5 down to 4s. He can't effort her away. She'll have 3 dice to shoot with rerolls, and she'll be doing 2 blood per hit. We can also do like bluff in there to reduce him so that I'm hitting on um, 3s with rerolls, which is pretty crazy, right? And then here's what you get. Bipolar is okay. I think it just messes up your enervating, but the free effort is kind of nice. You can do demotivate to cause enervating 2. Disarray is great because you can move audacity markers. That's super nice. and then also she has that same ability when she interacts and there's somebody with an 8 that can see her and the marker. She can look at the top two cards of your deck, discard one, put the other one back on top. So Kel is pretty nice. You got to keep her out of trouble though, because she doesn't have acrobat, so she can shoot. She can get shot down pretty easily. She does have undercover, which is nice. So 8 inches outside the deployment zone, right? Pretty good. All right, moving down the list. Let's look at Hatter for a sec. Okay, my boy, 70 rep, 200 funding. 7.6 stats. Again, for 70 rep, that's not great. 7.7 would be nice, but you know, he's a little guy. Subpar stats down here. Movement 8, kind of slow. Look at his gun though. 60 cal gun. Triple blood. Unfortunately, only one rate of fire. But what that means is you basically just effort away the strength die. But still, against targets that cannot that can't acrobat, that's a pretty good chance of getting 6 blood on somebody, which is decent. Charm protects him from melee. You have to take a willpower roll to attack him with a melee attack. Dodge keeps him out of trouble. Dodge and small give so he goes up to defense 4 and he can effort to remove your strength die. Unfortunately, weak means he can only effort up to 2. What's nice here though is if you look at Handyman, he has a free manipulate. If there were robots, he can actually fix the robots, but that don't matter. Just the free manipulate's nice, right? So that means, again, doesn't necessarily need an audacity marker. Other thing that is super, super hot is this right here. This is what we're going to look at. One of the main things. Mind control device. It's a special action. Choose a suspect marker within 8. Target a model within 4 inches of that suspect marker. Okay, so total range on this is 12. So you essentially you would walk up and then do your mind control. You can, you could walk up 8, drop a suspect marker for free, do mind control device, to hypnotize the model to come closer, or make him run away and attack something else, which would be pretty nice, right? So you remove the marker. So it's a nice way to remove like frozen suspects within 8 inches. And when you do that, you get to hypnotize a guy automatically. That's pretty fire, right? Can you, oh, sorry, I forgot. It resized the window. Thank you. I was too excited to talk about it, but yeah. So you can see there, right? Removes a suspect marker. So for a special, it removes a suspect marker with an 8 and hypnotizes a guy. That's amazing. Okay. Again, though, just like Kel, another guy you need to keep out of trouble, right? That's the problem. People are going to run over this crew with melee attacks and that kind of stuff. So I got to be careful. Anyways, but still, who cares? Super fun. Don't care. All right. But that's the reason why I like adding Tetch. And don't forget, he has Mastermind as well. So you gain +1 to the take the lead roll from him and from Riddler. So you're getting +2 on your initiative roll, which is pretty amazing. Okay. There's that. Let's go back to it. Geez, it just minimizes the windows. Quiz 2 is a little guy. We don't care. Okay. Echo and Query, I kind of do want to show you. Again, their crazy AP efficiency. All right. So here's a cool thing that I added to Query, which is kind of nice. Whoops. So if I go Inspiration, when this model plays an objective card, it may immediately take one card from its spent resource pile and add it to its controller's hand. That's super nice, and I have specific cards in mind that I want to be able to use this on. So, um, so it's important to play objectives with Query so that I can bring important resource cards back into my hand. Right? Query also has, I gotta open this back up. So again, 45 cost, so still 50% more expensive than Chris's like regular sword guys. But pretty cool, right? Really bad stats at 5.5. Bad, average attack and defense, but those go up because of competitive. So they go up to 4. Willpower goes up to 6. These both go up to 4 because of competitive, which is nice. She has persuasive here, so I'm thinking about maybe giving her. I want to give her the Enigma thing would be kind of nice, because that would give her bluff, which is kind of a nice thing. Persuasive also pretty cool. Okay, and Acrobat. Acrobat always good to have. That gives her a 9-inch move, and her gun is pretty hot. It's an LMG double blood, rate of fire 2, but explosive. Super nice, right? So nice for AoE type stuff. Okay, we'll move over to Echo, who has a grapple gun and the Enigma data pack, which gives her the bluff ability. Okay. Oh, look, it kept the window the right size this time. All right. So again, 45 rep, no funding, crap stats. Goes up because of competitive though, and Acrobat, giving her a total 11-inch move with the grapple gun. That's 17 inches, which is pretty nice. She also has the bluff ability. So the reason why I gave her the bluff is because she'll have something to do on alternate turns, right? When she's not using her grapple gun, she can also bluff to reduce people's attacks, which is pretty important for this character who's designed to be a little bit like kind of a melee tank with her defensive stance and her sustained defense, right? So she's kind of like Silk Spectre in that sense. What's cool here, she also has It's Mine. So enemy models can't reveal suspect markers while the marker is within 2 inches of this model. Pretty sweet, right? So she can guard your important suspect markers, and then her and let me make sure her and Query both have the rules Addict special rule, which is super nice. This model can reveal enemy markers without spending an action. Okay, so again, more AP efficiency out of these two models, which is super nice. Okay. And then finally, Big Boy riding the scooter, pretty awesome. Good stats, right? 47 reps, 6 willpower, 8 endurance, which is nice. 4 attack is super nice, only 3 defense. But he's got large and luck. Those things kind of help. No acrobat, so he usually does get shot up and shot to death pretty hard. Sadly. And he has the Electric Storm and Drop a Riddle special moves, which are both super nice. Drop a Riddle is really nice because if you play at least two objective cards as resources, he can place riddle markers down, which is nice. He can also attack people and continue moving because always on the move. And then I gave him the Mirror, which gives him magic tricks, which is a pretty cool ability. Once per round, when an enemy model places a suspect within 8 inches of this model, you may place a friendly suspect in contact with that model, following the usual rules. So that's pretty cool, right? That gives, again, AP efficiency. It gives him the ability to Okay, you're gonna place a suspect. I'll place a suspect, and essentially, after they guess, like let's say they guess the number, you can put the same number back down, score your face down card. So, so yeah, that's the crew I'm looking to go to instead of the Catman crew. So, I don't know. You guys tell me. I think it's cool. Like I said, what I give up though is Catman has some really nice. He's just really nice in melee. He's got good defense. Tracking and Hunter are really nice ways to help speed him up and get him across the board faster. But I don't know, right? I'm still not 100% trying to switch uh, Catman in for Kel and uh, for Kel and Tetch here. One last thing I'll show though is we should have Kel's card in here. So this is the card I'm gaining by adding Kel to the crew, right? It's a typical individual card, scores a 3, only 1 in the deck. Scores in phase 3, an enemy model has been the target of an attack from 3 different friendly models this round. So it's one of those things, you can score when you can. I have enough shooting on the board to attack a model 3 times, and it doesn't matter if you do any damage, you can just score the card. What's nice is if this shows up early in the game and you want to play it as a resource, it's pretty nice. It's only a cost 1 resource. During a friendly model's activation, move an enemy model 6 inches towards a friendly marker. That's super nice. Super, super nice, right? Because that can get models into range of her gun, of, Query's gun, that sort of thing. So pretty dope. So again, that's another reason why I kind of want Kel in the crew. So anyways, so that's the Riddler team I'm looking to go to. They have crazy control of the board, but they're so squish, and so that's kind of why I don't know. I just like playing these like hyper fragile crews. You guys remember from Guild Ball? I like playing fragile crews for some reason because they just do hilarious stuff. But anyways, that's what I'm looking to move to. As opposed to where we're at right today. Catman eats up all of those points at 115 rep. But Catman, you've seen his rules are pretty amazing. Right? Okay. So, anyways, just thought I would share a little bit with you guys. What the decisions process I'm going through with my crew. But I think we're gonna call it there because just about all this stuff is dry, and I think here. Let's try one. I need to clip the bottom of this off and not make it so that's what I was worried about. But she'll probably dry that way. It's just how she's leaning. She's just gonna dry that way. Also, what happened here? She has like a crazy gap. I don't know. I'm probably not gonna mess with that. Yeah, I think I'm gonna wait and let all this stuff dry before I mess with that. But anyways, yeah. And I think we are good for the night, folks. So I guess with that, we're just gonna call the stream here. So that is gonna do it for this stream. Thanks everyone for watching, and hope you guys have a good night.